DeWalt battery operated string trimmer, 60 volt. Got one right here, and they don't give these away. They don't give them to you to review, so I buy this my own self. That's just to get the grammar police wound up. No, I did buy this myself. I needed a little bit better string trimmer from around here. This battery operated, but I do have a fairly decent Pool & Pro gas one, but gas string trimmers have their drawbacks too, and especially if I want to use it in and around, I should say inside some of the greenhouses. We get some stuff growing on the ground in there, and I can't use weed killer in there, so I have to use weed eater. And I do have a small battery operated one, which is okay. I did a review on it a couple years ago. It was given to me to review, and it does a ample job, but needs some a little bit more horsepower. This has got it. I'm already on the DeWalt platform, so I do have another couple 60 volt batteries. This does come with one. Comes with a 9 amp hour, it says. So what model is this? DCST970X1S. 15 inch, 60 amp, 9 amp hour brushless string trimmer. That's what we got here, and I'm going to get it unboxed. And we'll see what we got. I know I'm probably going to have to charge this battery up first before I get out and use it. And it's about to rain, so I'll have plenty of time to do that. So what do we have here? Got out of the box. This is the unit here. Got a little twist tie, or a wire tie there. I call them tie wraps. Let's get that out of the way. And this here is pretty self-explanatory. Just rotate this around. Loosen some things up here. There's a hole here, and there's a key, and there's a pin here that hopefully you can see that this pulls out. That'll go into this hole right here when I get this rotated around. And it just pops back in. That's all there is to that. Oh, see what we got in the box there. I'm sure there's a charger and a battery in there, probably an instruction book. This is the accessory box. It's in the end of the main carton. And there's our box tree right there. And a charger. And a destruction book. I'll get this battery on the charger. It does have a little protection thing on there you have to remove. It also tells you to remove it before you use it. That's a good sticker there. Yeah, you do have to push the button down to get this off. That locks on there, and you can save this for transport or whatever. So I'll get this on the charger. Okay, I put this thing through its paces, had it out, used it quite a bit, run through actually 2 spools of line. So now we're going to get into the good, the bad, and the ugly on this. Again, this is not sponsored. DeWalt didn't provide this to me. I bought this. So we're going to go over what I like and what I don't like, and what I'm going to do to take care of what I don't like. Okay, so here's a view of the head, and one of the things that they tell you to do is to keep these little vents open to keep the motor cool. Well, as you can see, it immediately fills up with grass and debris. So yeah, I'm going to blow that out with an air gun, but it's still, that's not a real good design there. The other intakes are air intake or exhaust is down here, and the same on the back side over here. But on the air intake, it plugs up with grass and debris really fast. Okay, and going over to the bottom side here with the actual line spool, it's a tap and go type thing where you tap it down and it advances the line. The problem is that so much debris builds up underneath here that you can't actually tap it. Every once in a while you have to take and you have to clean that out with a small screwdriver or something. The load line is very, very easy. But the problem with the spool, and others have had the same problem, is it jams. And it jams, and it jams. And I've reloaded this with line once after using the stock line, thinking that may have been the problem using this stuff over here. But it jams. And if one side would happen to break off, it will spin around inside where the other side would then advance, and pretty soon you got a wrapped up mess inside the head of the spool. So what a lot of people are doing is they're using what they call a T35 replacement, actually made for Husqvarna, and I've got one right here that I'm going to be putting on here. It's a 10 millimeter left-hand thread, and so is this. So it's a direct swap. It's got a much better design. There's less chance of debris getting up in there and jamming the advance, because as you can see, as I push on this, and there's still debris up in there. There's so much debris builds up in there that pretty soon this doesn't work at all. As I said, you have to clean this out all the way around, which is just a nuisance. So what I'm going to be doing is swapping off to this T35 head on it. And that's actually very simple. I'll turn this around here. You'll see there's a slot right here. And as you turn the head, it'll match up with a slot on the end. Now it's not going to show up on video here. There's a slot on the piece inside, and then it's just a matter of unscrewing this, and as I said, it's left-hand thread. So it's just a matter of sticking a Phillips screwdriver in there and lining up the holes, and you can turn this to get it over here off the bench a little bit. And as I said, it's left-hand thread. Take a little bit to get it loose. There we go. I'll just spin that one off. And spin this one on. Again, it's left-hand thread. That's all there is to it. So how do you reload the line on one of these? Of course, I've got the head off of this now because I've changed to the K35 Husqvarna. But to do that, and I'll get up close here so you can hopefully see what I'm talking about. Of course, you could do this with the head on the trimmer, of course. But there's a little arrow right here on the base, and there's one on each side. You would line up the eyelets here with that arrow. Take a 25-foot long piece of line, pass it straight through there till you're equal on both ends, and when it is, it's just a matter of winding it back up till you leave about a 6-inch tail out of each side. So it's just that easy. But again, the problem with the DeWalt head is the grass and so on builds up underneath, and then the bump function doesn't work at all. And then this head also jams frequently. I mean, frequently enough that it became an absolute nuisance. So that's the one downside of this. Again, the other downside was on the head right here. These vents get plugged up with grass debris, and so I'm going to blow this out with my air gun here. But I need to come up with some kind of little filter thing to put over that, keep those from getting plugged up. That's really not a good design there for that, keep the motor from overheating. Of course, you don't want to cover up the bottom vents because that would impede the air inflow as well. And one other thing I forgot to mention is this is 2-speed. You have a switch right down here, and I have it on high because I've been doing some pretty heavy trimming. But for the lighter trimming, you can flip this to low, and I think what that does is changes the voltage from 60 volts to 20 volt. If you're just doing light grass trimming, light grass, that kind of thing, that is perfectly adequate. But I've been doing some really tall grass and weeds, and therefore I had it on high. So just thought I'd add that other couple things in there. I had forgotten to mention them in the when I did the video here originally, so this is kind of a post-edit thing, but I wanted to throw this in. So, other than the little quirk thing with the head here, and a little bit of this with keeping these vents clean, that's a little bit of a maintenance nuisance. Otherwise, using this out in the field, and I mean, I went through some pretty heavy stuff. You've got a really long run time with that 9 amp hour battery, and except for this head jamming up all the time, it worked very, very well. Otherwise, besides this, I'm very happy with this. So it was worth $300, I think I paid for it. And this was bought at a store called Farm and Fleet, which is common here in the Midwest, and you may not have one where you are. But I'm sure it's available on Amazon, and like everything's pretty much available on Amazon. But you can find one somewhere if you like it. If you're, like I said, I was already on the DeWalt platform, already had some 60-volt batteries. This did come with a 9 amp hour battery, which is a plus, so now I have one more battery. So if you got anything out of this, appreciate getting a thumbs up, always helps the channel. Again, this is not sponsored, I bought this. So thanks for watching, see you in the next one.